Hello everyone, Simon here. Welcome to 2026. We're gonna do our yearly Minecraft World Tour, my Minecraft World Tour. So if you don't know what this is or who I am, I'm Simon, and I upload Minecraft videos every single day, right? But most people don't watch every single day. So what I'm doing is once a year in January, I do a world tour to show the world as it is right now. So let's begin with the stuff that I built in the last year. I've got a list over here that I'm looking at. A list of things I'm going to cover, right? So this is the center of my city, I guess. We'll come back and talk about this. So this is old stuff from before. If we come over this way to the north and climb over this little hill here. So early in the year, well, the first half of the year, I guess, I was working on this past here. We have the North Village, right? So my base is back there. To the north and to the south of my base, there are two villages that were naturally generated. And this one to the north, it was generated on a bit of a hill. And for a long time, I didn't really know what I would do with it. Eventually, I decided to secure it like this, right? So I've put all the buildings, I put towers underneath all the buildings. So now instead of just kind of hanging in midair on the mountain, there's towers underneath the buildings and then walls around the towers. And so the place is secure against hostile mobs. And it looks kind of cool actually. It's like a series of towers on the mountain. Let's go inside, right? Main entrance is here. Across the bridge. And then down to the water level almost. Ah, look at that. So I built the towers around the buildings, and then I also made some upgrades to the village. So you see the naturally generated houses there, there, and there, and then in between I built a little square. So at the entrance to the village there's a town square with like little shops and things. I guess that's like a souvenir shop or something. The nitwit's not really helping at the store. Alright, so the towers look like that from below. With lights, so the glowstone allows you to see things from a distance, right? You can see the village, the glowing lights in the dark, so that's kind of good. And there's staircases joining the circles, the plates, I guess. On this level, we have the farm, and I've put the little agricultural themed structures here. And then further up, we have a cartographer in there. There he is, looking at the table. Oh, here's the map, actually. That's good. So here's the map of the village. Looks like that. So as I said, a series of circular towers around the existing buildings of the original village. Look at that. Pretty good. Okay, continuing up. Oh, look at that. Up at this level, we have a few more houses. And a little garden here, a little geometric garden in the French style. And then if we continue up this staircase, we have another agricultural field. So if you imagine how this was before, there was a mountain, right? And there were these things just kind of halfway up the mountain. And the village didn't really function because the villagers couldn't get up and down the mountain. They were like cliffs and everything just hang in the air. But now everything is joined up. I don't know if the villagers actually make it up here or not. So here's the village fountain, upgraded with some seats. Also a decent view out the window there. Alright, continuing up. I've planted a lot of trees here. This is supposed to be like an orchard. And we had some animal pens, which I've upgraded into proper barns. And more crop fields. So if you recognize how the original village components were generated in the game, you can see how I've upgraded them, just kind of built on top of them to turn them into something more interesting. At the very top, we have a 2-story house, and there are exits out to the outside, but we're not going to go out there because there's nothing out there. And from here, oh no, we have to go back this way. Oh yeah, the view is kind of nice too. So put the seat here. So there's the view back at my city. There's the museum island. We'll get to that later on. And then some mountains in the distance. Look at that. Not bad. I don't remember how long this took. Several months, I think. I don't play that much. I play about 2.5 hours every week. So it takes me a long time to get the stuff built right. More houses, more crop fields. And there's corridors and staircases connecting all the circles, the towers. Down to here, another house. And that's it. Alright, that's the North Village. Quite proud of this, actually. It turned out pretty well. I'm actually quite happy how good this ended up. Okay. Let me run back this way. So if I go through my city again, I'm just gonna skip this for now. We'll come back to this, right? I'm gonna show the new stuff first. If we run through here, in the distance, you might see a giant tower over there. So that's the other giant build that I built this year. I basically built only 2 things. I mean, I did other smaller things too. But I did 2 big projects, and that one took the most time. I don't know if you can tell how big that thing is. Let's walk up to it. That's the cobblestone tower. And the reason it's a cobblestone tower is at the very top there's a cobblestone factory. A cobblestone factory in Minecraft Bedrock. We're using creepers to blow up cobblestone from cobblestone generators to automatically farm cobblestone, right? So the cobblestone generators generate the cobblestone, and then the creepers drop down to explode, and that blows up the cobblestone and allows us to harvest it. So let's go up there and look at the factory first. The tower I will explain afterwards, although you can pretty much see the tower. Well, maybe I should talk about the tower now. So after I made a cobblestone factory, I decided to celebrate my new source of cobblestone income by putting a giant cobblestone tower out of all the cobblestone that I generate from the factory. Yeah! Not really all cobblestone. So inside it's snow blocks filling on the inside, but the outside is just enormous amounts of cobblestone. Because I have renewable cobblestone, that is AFK farm, so I don't need to worry about doing any work to get more cobblestone, right? There's a spiral staircase up the middle, and then there's 4 giant piers holding up the cobblestone factory at the top. The purple stuff up there, that's the cobblestone factory. I guess I should like show a little bit of the landscaping around the sides as well. Plant some trees around the sides. A little bit of color and light on the edge of the tower, and then the rest of the tower is just solid cobblestone. So a little bit of highlights and then just gray, right? Massive. Massive, but not too boring. So the highlights make it slightly less boring, a little bit more interesting. And there's colored wool behind the lights too, so you can see how there's the RGB colors going up the sides of the towers, just to make it a little bit more interesting. We do have bubble column elevators going up and down, well, going up, and then water coming down. Oh, the middle of this, right? So the 4 piers in a cross, and then the spiral staircase going up. Let's go up. I'm gonna walk up And this is basically the same thing all the way up, although I guess there's some scenery. There's the south village, and then there's the inside. Let's go up. And as we go up, we can look out at the scenery. Another tower there. Very cool. Oh, it's almost nighttime. Maybe I stay up here until it's nighttime so I can see the city at night. And there's a lot of end rods, so it's very bright inside here all the time, right? The south village down there. Over there we have the minecart track out to the prismarine farm. And then there we have the path over to the spawn point. So we have infrastructure heading out into the distance. And there's the city again in the evening. Oh, look at that. All those lights. So I deliberately put in the end rods and the glowstone and the fire because the torches, you can't see torches from a distance. They've made it so you can kind of see the lanterns from a distance, so that's kind of good. But torches, they don't render at this distance. So I deliberately use light sources that can render at a distance. Oh, we switched to nighttime. So that the city glows at night because the light sources, things like glowstone, sea lanterns, end rods, and of course fire and lava. Okay, let's keep going up. Because this is basically a mob farm, right? We have to spawn creepers. The reason the factory is so high up is so that we can spawn monsters without having to worry about caves under the ground. Because we're playing bedrock, so the spawn cap is quite low. In order for us to spawn the creepers efficiently, we need to make sure that nothing else can spawn nearby. So that's why the factory is so high up, and so that's why I built the whole tower to hold up the factory afterwards. Okay, so this is the factory floor, as I call it, where the actual factory is, right? The cobblestone comes out there. The cobblestone generators are there. So there's 4 of them. They come in from all 4 sides. In fact, I can get up this ladder here and show you. The cobblestone generator is embedded in there. 3 rows of cobblestone. Gets pushed out to there. And then up there, there's creeper spawning areas. There's 2 levels and 4 spawning areas, and the creepers get dropped down. They come down water channels and they get dropped down into there. And then, if I don't get any of this wrong, let me just take off the armor. So the creepers would damage armor, but they won't damage you because you are going to be in the water. Alright, so we're not injured. And if I sit here for a while, creepers will start dropping down. And as you can see, the creepers see you, right, the player. So they blow up, and when they blow up the cobblestone. And then the cobblestone gets collected. And so this is how we automatically generate cobblestone. Is we get blown up by creepers all day long. But because we're in the water, we don't take damage. Oh, so clever. I'm so clever. Alright, put this back on. So that's how that works. I guess we can keep going up. So the creeper spawning areas up there, we can't see inside. But we come up this ladder, and then through here. So if I knock out these blocks, we can go inside the creeper spawning areas. But because there's creepers in there, we don't want to get into too much trouble. If we keep going up, we can get out onto the roof. Oh, there it is. So now we're at the roof of the tower. You're not really supposed to be here. But we can see the city. At least to the render distance, right? And there's the top of the tower. And that's it. All that just to get free cobblestone. So I can get free stone basically. I just AFK for stone. And I don't have to do any work. This took me a long time. It took me a long time to fill all the piers, right? So there's 4 piers on the tower. It took me ages to fill them and build all of it up. But it's very cool. It's very large, very cool. Okay, let's get back down. I'm taking the shortcut down. So a bubble column elevator there, and this is just a drop. With 1 block of water at the bottom. Okay, so that's the other thing I built last year. There's a few more things. I did the beacon coverage expansion. So at the moment there are 9 sets of beacons. You can't really see. Let me turn the UI back on. You can't see it there either. Oh well. So we have beacon buffs. You can see the beacons lighting up. I originally had 4 sets of beacons, those 4. I expanded to 9 sets of beacons, so from 2x2 to a 3x3. And I also added a underground road network to join up the beacons, because the beacons are all the way down 50 blocks above bedrock to make sure that we get beacon coverage in the underground as well, right? Where should we go first? You know what, let's go to the South Village first, because otherwise I'm gonna skip this. So this is not last year. The South Village is from earlier. Remember the North Village was back that way, the circular towers? Here, South Village much simpler, because it's on flat ground. We have a mostly rectangular wall protecting the village back here. And again, we have the naturally generated houses. Plus, I've built some extra houses to house extra villagers out of bamboo. And I've upgraded the roads. And I've built a little bit of a town square. A village square, I guess. Back here. Very simple. Oh, I made the farms more interesting. I built a terraced farm back here as well, look at that. So we have a terraced farm. Oh, why is there a zombie guy back there? That's not supposed to happen. Wait a minute. Can these things spawn in full light? I mean, he's not hostile. Okay, I need to look into that. I need to look into that problem, because no hostile mobs should spawn here. Anyway. So this is the South Village. There's extra houses that I built because I needed extra librarians for enchanted books. So you can see the original houses plus the upgrades. I built a slightly fancier house up there. And also put some trees in there, and you saw some bamboo back there. So the idea is that they have a bit of an economy, right? They have resources, they have a farm. And a slightly fancier house with foundations and a bit of a porch. And an interesting roof. Nothing too special. Okay, so that's the South Village. Let's get out of here. This way? back out to here. So I was talking about the beacons, right, and the underground road network. Let's go down there, and I'll show you a bit of it. It's not that interesting, but it's spent a bit of time on it. So this is the most recent thing I did. Just finished it. We have a staircase. This cave actually joins up with the underground roads. So I built a staircase inside this cave opening. Which brings us down to here. And then we have the underground roads and the beacons, right? So remember there was a 3x3, 9 sets of beacons. So there are the beacons. And then there they are going all the way up to the surface. And so one set there, 1, 2, and 3. So a square grid of beacons. Let's go this way. Not too much to see down here, right? It's not particularly scenic. But the infrastructure is quite important. Having beacons is very convenient around the base. And there are parts where we intersect some caves, and this is slightly more interesting. I'll try not to fall off. So we have roads going up near the top of the cave there, and then some columns holding up the roads down below. So we have a few areas like this, with caves opening up. And I guess since we're here, in the middle of the city there's the big tower. The big tower with a staircase that goes from bedrock all the way to the height limit. And it links to a number of things. There's a copper farm. I'm not going to look at all the farms in too much detail, but there's an amethyst factory. So there used to be a geode there. And we're automatically harvesting amethyst. Or I think I am. I haven't checked this for a while. I don't know if this is still working. The amethyst takes a long time to generate. What is happening? Okay, I guess we're only got 2 chests. I don't actually know if this works. If it does, it's very, very slow. In fact, is it busted? It's busted. Hold on. I think it's busted. Well, no. So if there's a fully grown amethyst facing the piston, it's busted. You see that? So it's not fully grown, so it means that when that grows, it should work. There's a counter there. So there's one more block left in the counter. So if it grows one more time, the piston will push it down and it'll harvest. No, I think it's still working. It's just that the amethyst grows really slowly, right? Now, let's not get too caught up in the details of the factories. So the staircase comes down to a natural cave. I haven't done anything down here yet, except for the roads. And if we keep going down, bedrock level is there. And if we look up, that goes all the way to the height limit. I'm going to go back to the surface, not to the height limit yet. We'll leave that to the last. Road network, as I said, is at this level. So that's pretty much everything that I've done last year. Now let's go and look at all the other stuff in my world for the rest of the video. There's a slime farm over there. Right, so we come back out. There's the cobblestone tower there. And the south village is down that way. So going back out this way. So some of the other things. Here we have the big head statue. That is a giant statue of my face. Now, you might wonder, like, why would you build a giant statue of your own face? Because it's funny. This is so funny. I find this extremely funny. And it's, of course, in lava because we want to be menacing. Make you very uncomfortable. So this is fun, right? Just a giant statue of my face. Nice. Over here we have the proving grounds. It's just a flat area for me to try out builds, basically. There's a funny piston contraption there right now, and some lighting test rooms. So this is all temporary stuff. It's open space for me to try things out, if I ever need to. Let's see, what am I looking at? I guess another new thing that I did build this year, although it's not a big build, I added more to the factory district. So back this way, there's the Pale Moss factory. So the old moss factory, the original moss factory, is up there. You can kind of see it behind the Christmas tree. So because the Pale Garden came out, I think at the end of last year, we put a Pale Moss factory to generate Pale Moss blocks, if we want them. And also like a little eye blossom thing, if we want eye blossoms. And let's get into the middle of town. So here, all the purple stuff is factory. The purple stuff, they're all factories. I'm not gonna go into too much detail about the factories, I don't think, just because there's so many of them, and they all have like complicated machinery. The Christmas tree is here. This is a little bit nice. As I said, Moss Factory. Oh, this is the station out to the Prismarine Farm. I'm not gonna go to the Prismarine Farm in this video. I did go in last year's tour. But there's a minecart system, and there's a chest minecart to bring the loot back, and the redstone is set up so that if you want to, you can just AFK. And when the chest is full, it will automatically come back, deposit all the stuff, and then when the chest is empty, it will go out that way again. So you can have a fully automated Prismarine Farm if you want to. Except that it takes so many hours to fill the chest that it doesn't really matter in the end whether it's automated or not. In the middle of town, we have the public spaces. So here we have a stage, which also functions as a staircase. So the idea is that if this was a real city, you would have a public meetings here. Like if you have like an event, maybe you have like a Christmas party, or maybe you have some sort of political rally, you would have like speeches here. So that's the idea of a public space that also functions as a stage, right? Out here we have the Cherry Square, the town square, decorated by cherry blossoms. We have a turtle pool. The turtles are down there, with turtle sculptures above them. And then beside that we have the cloud bridge. So there's the bridge heading over to Museum Island. Let's go over there now, and we'll go on the bridge as well. The bridge also is designed as a sort of a public space, right? So the bridge functions as a bridge. There's a central path that winds through the middle of it. But coming off the side of the path, there's also these spaces that don't really go anywhere. So this also functions as a public space if you want to like hang out, meet your friends, or just do some sightseeing. So this sort of space allows you to like take some photos, take some selfies, gather with your friends, if this was, you know, a multiplayer server, which is not. So I'm designing this as though it was a city, and what kind of stuff you need in the city is public spaces where people can hang out. And it's quite nice actually, you can get good views in all directions and see all the things. Alright, over here we have Museum Island. I started this world back when the Caves and Cliffs expansion dropped, right? Which is a number of years ago now. And one of the first things I did was build a museum of everything, which is I collected every single item and block that could be collected in the game at that time. And if we come in here, the Museum of Everything has everything. Crimson Slab, Warp Slab, black stone slab, etc. On the side, glazed terracotta planks. So these were everything that you could get in the game in the Caves and Cliffs expansion. I have not expanded the museum to accommodate later updates, just because I can't be bothered. But this fills the whole museum, right? Including armor, like netherite armor, diamond armor, leaves, and it just goes on and on. So every single item that you could acquire in the game. It was interesting, right? It took a long time to gather all the stuff, but what it did was it gave me an excuse to explore the whole game, right? It gave me an excuse to just go around the whole game and just see everything that the game had to offer at the time. So that was kind of good, interesting experience, and a great adventure. We have a bit of a courtyard in the middle as well. So there's the Museum of Items, and then later, around the Museum of Items, I decided to build like a Museum of Biomes. So out here we have representations of, let's see, the swamp, and maybe like Mushroom Island down there, and then we have like acacias, jungle trees. So this is like a botanic garden, I guess. And then we have cherry blossoms, we have flowers, bamboo. So a sampling of all the plants you can get in the game. Oh, I should have gone the other way first. Oh, we can come back. And again, designed as a garden with paths and little pavilions if you want to look out where there's a nice view. I might expand over there in the future, maybe. Don't have plans yet. But there's a lot of stuff we can build out there, right? Eventually. You know what? Let me go down here. We have a gateway, and this we can go underground into a cave where we also have the cave biome represented. We can get dripstone cave and then lush caves with an artificial geode. It's not a real one. I built an artificial geode here. Right, so this is the museum of everything. All the biomes, all the items. And then down to here. This stairwell can go back up. Let me go back up here for now. Because on the other side of the museum, there was that. So there was the crimson... what's it called? I forgot what the biomes are called. But the crimson and the warped fungus from the Nether. And look at that. We have views. There's the North Village again. There's the city. Alright, so that's the Museum Island. Let's go over to the Factory District. Oh, I guess since we're here. So that's the tree tower. We have all the trees if we want to chop trees. We have the Iron Golem farm down there, and then the gold farm is up there. You can see the giant portals flashing on and off. So we have iron, gold, trees, and as I said, I'm not going to go through every single factory because there's too many of them. But I guess I'll show you what the idea is at least. There is a road connection down here under the river. Can't really see too much down here. Alright, back to the other side. As I said, iron and gold. Let me go this way. Up there we have bamboo modules. And the bamboo provides fuel, right? We can see furnaces down here. And we have like bamboo coming down to the furnace where we bake cactus into green dye. So this is factories. So like cactus farm, and then the bamboo, and then making dyes, and then we have What is that? Eggs and feathers and chickens and cooked chickens and kelp and dried kelp. So you can get the idea, right? Here we have wool. There's factories making all sorts of materials. Anything that can be automated is automated. How's my honey blocks going? Not that fast, huh? We have that many honey blocks. I wonder if this is actually working. I mean, there are bees in there. Maybe I need to reset something. I'll fix that later on. Pumpkins, melons, twisting vines, and so on and so on. The flower factories are down here. These are flowers. Dandelion, as you bullet. Up there we have the crop farms. Oh, the pauper tower. Or the chorus tower. So you notice that I've made a lot of stuff with the pauper blocks. Because pauper is easy to acquire, right? The pauper farm basically is you knock off the chorus flowers and you press a button, press that button there, and the pistons will pull the block of endstone down, and that would just drop all the chorus. So the idea is that you can harvest them very quickly, and because it's so low effort, that's why I used to build the bulk of the factories. Of course, now that I've built the cobblestone tower, the cobblestone is even lower effort than the chorus. So I wouldn't be using that now, but I only built the cobblestone farm last year, right? And then here we have the storage. It's not that big actually. Most of the actual storage is underneath the farms. So here we have storage. I can always expand downwards if I need to. And I guess we'll go to the Nether. Right, let me just show you the Nether. Not too much to show. Where am I? Where am I? Okay. So over that way, if you walk through those tunnels, is that thing gonna attack me? Yes. Get out of here. If we go this way, there's a tunnel through the nether rock all the way to a nether fortress. I'm not gonna go all the way over there just because it's a long distance and there's not that much to see. But instead of the nether fortress where we can farm things like blaze rods and wither skeleton skulls, back here we have a piglin barter station. Look at that. We have... You drop the iron gold ingots in there, there's a dispenser back there. You press the button and it'll dispense the gold ingots one at a time to the piglins. How does this work again? Right, so how that works is when the piglins drop the item, it gets collected by the hopper underneath him. And then when the hopper empties, it cycles the redstone torch to drop the next gold ingot. So basically it's only when an item has gone through the hopper that the next gold ingot is dropped to the piglin. So this automates the bartering. And then down here we have the sorters. We collect all the stuff that the piglin gives us for our gold ingots. So that's the piglin barter station. Everything's automated, very good. And then here with another portal. This is the obsidian harvesting portal. If we come out here back to the overworld, we arrive here. Let me break this real quick. So this is for obsidian harvesting. We generate obsidian by generating portals, and then we break the portals to get the obsidian. And then we walk back to the city from here. I've put a platform here to make this easy to manage and secured it against hostile mobs around here, right? And if we go back, and we go back to the city, go back to the portal, come back out, break the obsidian. So this is how we harvest obsidian if we need a lot of it. It's kind of tedious, but it's simple. As we said earlier, there's the road to the spawn point. I'm not going over there, there's not too much to see. And there's the minecart track to the prismarine farm, which I'm not going to go there. Again, not too much to see down there, but just more resources. Alright, so finally, let's go up the Great Tower and take a look around. The Great Tower, as I said earlier, is the one that goes all the way from the height limit down to bedrock. And as we go up there, we can take a look around. Oh, I guess we can stop here for a little bit. The gold farm is up there, right? The portal's back there, flashing on and off. And the zombie piglins... Huh. They should be dropped there. What's going on? What is going on? That's not full yet. Not even close. Okay, we can see them now. Oh, there they go. There's a wither flower there, and the zombie piglins get dropped on the wither flower, they die, they drop the gold nuggets, and so on and so on. Yeah, gold farm. Let's go up a couple more levels, and then we do a little bit of sightseeing. Oh yeah, so there's the portals. How are we doing? One more level? Okay, so we have the 9 beacon sets, and then we have Museum Island down there, with the big Cobble tower over there, the South Village, the big head statue, and then over here we have the Factory District, and then out that way we have the Tree Tower. Oh, we can't see the North Village, huh, because it's behind the Tree Tower. Well, if we go further up, I think we can get a good angle on it, maybe. How about this? Oh, there's clouds in the way. So there's the North Village back there, look at that, circles up the mountain. I think if we get to the top of the tower, we can't actually see the ground anymore because of the render distance. But the top of the tower is big glowing circles. We can kind of still see the ground. Alright, there's the Cobble tower over there. Can't really see too much. Let's try to avoid falling off. Actually, if I keep going up, there is a glass floor. So this... Oh, why is there zombies there? Hostile mobs... Oh, I didn't mean to do that. And that's why we put water at the bottom. I did not mean to fall down. Hey, the hostile mobs can spawn even at full light at the height limit. I didn't know that. Let me get it back up there, because I do want to see. End the video at the top. Alright, we're only at ground level. We still have to go all the way up. A little bit concerned actually. I didn't know that zombies could spawn at the height limit even at full light. And there was a zombie horseman in the south village we saw earlier. Not sure what to make about that. But I did look at it in my own time. Look into it in my own time. It's a long staircase, you guys. It goes all the way from the bedrock to the height limit. And I forgot there was no safety railings up here. Okay. Oh, that's a creeper. That's not good. Well, that solves that problem. We can kind of see the city through the glass. It's not that good though. Let's try not to fall off. Alright, so this Museum Island, let me fall off. Museum Island, the Cloud Bridge, Tower. And the Factory District. It's laggy because there's all the factories down below. And then to the north, there's a North Village out there. Alright. So that's it for the world tour for 2026 January. I guess I'll come back next year to show you what I built this year. Alright, that's it. See you next time.